How's it going, everybody? So I'm JC, and basically we are Jellyfish Arts, and we specialize in jellyfish aquariums. These aquariums are all-inclusive kits that basically bring everything you need to start up the aquarium. And the tanks are fairly simple to maintain. The important thing to note about jellyfish is that jellyfish do require a specific tank. They cannot be placed in a regular aquarium. These tanks require a special laminar flow which has to go in a circle. They're called chrysals or pseudo-chrysals, and this tank is specifically designed to house these moon jellyfish. A simple question we always receive is, do these jellyfish sting? And they do not sting. The life cycle on these jellyfish will be about a year to a year and a half in aquariums. A lot of customers will keep them for 2 to 2.5 years, and then you can get replacements when they complete their life cycle. Something interesting is that they do live much longer in aquariums than they do in the wilds. Their life cycle in the wild will typically be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, if that.
And can you just go through what comes in the package and why it comes in the package?
Absolutely. So the kit, being an all-inclusive kit, will basically bring, and I'll show you guys here, the box will have everything you need to set up the tank initially, except the fresh water, which you will use distilled water or RO water. It brings the tank itself, the base, and the lid. It brings the pump, power supply for the LED lighting, the remote control, which can change all the colors of the jellyfish. And you can change the different colors, you can change the different settings. So we'll do it on this guy over here. You can have static colors, and the jellyfish are not bioluminescent. They don't produce light, but they are bioreflective. So they will reflect whatever color you put on them. The remote control will also have different settings where the colors will change on their own. They'll either flash or they'll fade through different colors. And basically it has cleaning tools, cleaning sponge, feeding pipettes. It comes with the packages of salts. It comes with our ChemiPure Blue Nano package. ChemiPure is a great product. It's basically one of the leading products here for activated charcoal with resins. This is chemical filtration, and it is fantastic for jellyfish. Also reef tanks and other aquariums, including freshwater tanks as well. And this goes in the back of the tank. So the filtration for these tanks, everything is internal. Being Jellyfish Art, we designed these aquariums to be very sleek tanks that don't have filters hanging over the back. Everything is within the tank or in the base of the tank. There's only 2 power cords, one for the light and one for the filter, and this ChemiPure packet does go in the back of the tank.
And so what about solutions for feeding them?
So feeding, we have 2 different options for the moon jellyfish. The jellyfish kit does include our dry food, which is this right here. And one of the important things about feeding jellyfish is not to overfeed. So jellyfish do not require a lot of food. They don't expend a lot of energy as they don't move very much. We include a little scoop with our food, which is tiny, as you can see there with my finger. You want to feed about a quarter of that scoop once per day for 3 jellyfish. And that's an approximate amount. One way to know if you're overfeeding or not is to see the bottom of the tank. If you're seeing debris, leftover food sitting on the bottom of the tank, you may want to reduce the amount of food you're giving them. Another option, and our larger kit does include this product, is the Artemia hatcher, and I will grab the box. This is the box for the Artemia hatcher. This is an ingenious product that actually separates the live Artemia from the eggshells. You don't want to get the eggshells into the aquarium. So the way this Artemia hatcher works is fairly simple. It has no moving parts, it has no pumps, nothing else is required. This is the whole setup. There is no 2-liter bottles as some other methods will use. Basically, you're going to fill this hatcher to the fill line with salt water, and then you're going to add a scoop or 2 of Artemia eggs, brine shrimp eggs, into the outer ring. Okay? You're going to cap it, and what happens is Artemia brine shrimp is attracted to light, and since the only light source is in the center of the hatcher, they're going to travel to the center. But to do this, they have to travel through the baffles, up and down, essentially separating themselves from the spent eggshells in the outer ring, and then inside you're going to get only brine shrimp, live brine shrimp, without any of the eggshells. The hatcher does include a little sieve where you will sieve up the brine shrimp, strain it, and then you can go ahead and feed it to your aquarium on a daily basis. For brine shrimp, we typically recommend that you feed enough brine shrimp that the jellyfish can consume or at least grab in about 15 to 20 minutes, and that is a good guide on how much food to give them.
Yeah, when I was involved with keeping jellyfish, I was always amazed how much they could physically grow and physically shrink, then physically grow then physically shrink.
So jellyfish do have an incredible ability to grow. Growth is primarily determined on how much food they're eating, they're consuming. But that being said, in small tanks or in home aquariums, you don't want to overfeed them because then you can run into water quality issues. Jellyfish also have a remarkable ability to regenerate and heal. So even if a jellyfish receives some sort of trauma, a tear, a hole, anything like that, they can regenerate those parts. Even if a jellyfish was to via trauma lose all of their tentacles in the center, they can regrow a full set of tentacles. So they're remarkable animals in their ability to do this.
So you're saying you feed once a day what the animals will eat in 15 minutes?
Correct.
And how often are you recommending water changes?
So water changes in a tank like this, we recommend once a week or week and a half to do a small water change, 20 to 25%, even 30%. Basically, we suggest smaller water changes spread out as opposed to a larger water change at once. The important thing to note is if you do want to do a larger water change is stability. So make sure that the new water is the same temperature and the same salinity as what you currently have in the tank.
So how tolerant are they to temperature and temperature change?
So temperature change, like any aquarium or any marine animal, they don't like change. They don't like fluctuations or constant fluctuations. They can handle a degree or two, but typically you want to keep these at home temperatures. They are not really a warm water species, so heaters are typically not used on these tanks unless you live in a very cold place. But typically anywhere between the mid-60s to the mid-70s would be the ideal temperatures. And usually in a regular home, an air-conditioned home, a heater or a chiller is not necessary for these tanks.
So coming from Australia, what would you say is the maximum temperature?
The maximum I would recommend is about 76 that I prefer. You can push it to 78 degrees, but if you can kind of keep it 76 and below, it would be better for the jellyfish themselves. The ideal temperatures, perfect temperatures would be anywhere between 68 and 72.
And is there, the other question that everyone always asks, is there anything at all that you can recommend to go with them?
There is one thing that I do recommend people to actually put in these tanks, and that would be either blue leg hermit crabs or scarlet reef hermit crabs. These are very small hermit crabs, and you want to pick really small ones, about half an inch or an inch in size. They will not harm the jellyfish, and the jellyfish won't harm them. Now, they serve a purpose, and they will be on the bottom of the tank, and they'll serve as a cleanup crew, essentially, for the tank. So if you do miss any particles of food when you are feeding your jellyfish, these hermit crabs will pick it up so that it doesn't break down and turn into ammonia in the tank. So it is a beneficial animal to have with them, and it is interesting to watch because you do see them scurry around on the bottom. And they're not affected by any jellyfish. They don't sting. The Aurelia aurita species, which are these guys, moon jellies, they actually don't sting humans either. So if you were to touch them while you were maintaining the tank, they're not going to hurt you.